the next thing that I would assume is an expense or a struggle for you guys to overcome is going to be equipment.
Yeah, right off the bat, not only equipment but availability of that equipment and or the parts to keep it up and running. That I think, Dennis, you'd agree is probably our biggest hurdle right now. Whether the guy's broken down on the road and he needs a subunit, or we just need a rental for a week, the supply of those vehicles seems to have disappeared. We're a little bit unique. We run doubles up and down the thruway, so we need tandem certified equipment, and those are pretty much impossible to get as a sub. Tires, right off the bat, I mean, I think we've seen an increase of 30+% over the last couple of years just on tires alone, for both the trailer fleet we have. We have our own garage here in Vernon, just supplying our own, getting our own supply of parts seems to be an issue. Whether it's not available, or we have to sit a trailer for a couple of weeks because you need this part and that part to come in. Parts are definitely not available as they used to be.
So there's two parts there that you touched on:
Yep.
availability, and the other part is cost.
Hmm.
So stuff's not available, and even if you paid a 10 or 15% premium, and you would stop, you'd be able to utilize that equipment. You wouldn't have to park it for 2 weeks or long periods of time while you're waiting for the product. So there's an additional cost, to look at there. So what do you think the future holds then for equipment? We're seeing a year on tractors, 9 months on trailers.
So trailers, for example, essentially 21 into 22, 22 going into 23, they went up 66% on the cost of a new trailer. So when we order bundles of trailers, lots of trailers, essentially, it hurts, right? So now when we're looking at the overall increased cost of trailers, at 66% overall cost increase, and then we'll go into, we're seeing for trailers ordered today, late Q2, Q3 of next year, we would get them. But the other discerning part is we'll actually get the pricing 14 weeks prior to we actually get the trailers. So even though we got a quote on the trailer, we'll let you know 14 weeks before you actually get the trailer what the actual price will be. Directional pricing. Directional pricing.
Have you hit the 100 grand yet?
As far as
As far as a specked out 53-foot refrigerated trailer for over the
oh,
road?
we're beyond that.
Okay.
So to be fully transparent, one of our trailers, outfitted for us, because we have some specialty equipment, things of this nature. I mean, we're pushing almost 140.
Wow, that's huge.
A dry box trailer that I priced out last year, no, excuse me, this year, that they actually came across. Now, a traditional plain Jane dry box trailer, 53 footer, wasn't anything special. That was $62,000 for a dry box trailer, which
Hmm.
was essentially a couple of years ago a $30,000 trailer.
Yeah, and that was a reefer 5 years ago.
Yep, yep,
60 to 80, depending on
yep,
how you spec them.
yep, yep. So,
65.
yep. So now so that impacts our business. So unfortunately, with our lead times and things of this nature to keep the equipment rolling, we've had to take, good money and put it to bad, right? So we're putting money in equipment we essentially don't want to fix, but that couples onto a couple other things, right? So we have our busy seasons, just like a lot of other organizations. So we'll take in rental trailers and things of this nature to suffice and hold us over. So what we were doing internally is we couldn't get rental trailers,
Correct.
right? We were having, so when we did get them, we didn't give them back. We'd actually take them and ship them to other locations because we knew once we gave them back, we weren't going to be able to get them. And we've taken trailers essentially from Pennsylvania and transported them to New York, what have you, upstate New York, because where that location was, I couldn't get any trailers, right? So we're holding on to them. So it it couples your costs with that, because now we're holding on to assets essentially that we don't need, but we don't dare give them back because we know if we give them back, we're not going to be able to get them again.
Right, and then how do you do the maintenance on them when you don't want to give them back? Do you do the maintenance, or do
No, it's
they?
usually right included with it. Yeah, when we
Okay.
do the rental. Yeah. So, and we leverage a lot of our business partners. We have some very good ones for our trailers that essentially try to take care of us, but we struggle now with getting the equipment essentially, and then they'll actually call and they want the asset back because they have a tracker on it or whatever and it hasn't moved, and it might be in the yard for storage, right? But we just
Mhm.
don't dare give anything back at this point in time because we know we're not going to be able to give it up. And with the increase on prices, the longevity of getting the parts and things of this nature, we've fixed assets and repaired assets that normally we probably wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I think the past couple years, so many of the larger fleets, they sold off excess equipment that they would have held on to historically because the market was so high.
Mhm.
I mean, even wrecked equipment was being purchased and fixed
Yep.
because they could get it fixed and back on the road quicker than they could do anything else, and that would suffice. So you're definitely running along the same lines of what we're seeing now. For us on our for hire side, that's what we handle and contract over the road business. When we have breakdowns, the impact for us is, thank goodness, the equipment is pretty good. We very seldom have a major breakdown, but when you have any type of breakdown where you need parts, normally it's a repower the trailer scenario or
Mhm.
swing the load because you just can't get the parts in any timely manner. Where 2, 3, 4 years ago, no problem, we'll have him fixed and up and rolling by 6 a.m.
Mhm.
That's not what it is now. Now it's, here's what you need, and nobody has the parts. We're going to air freight the parts, and it's going to be a few days. Well, you can't stop a refrigerated shipment for a few days.
No.
Nobody can sit on equipment. What level of service are you providing there? So it's definitely changed from all perspectives. Now, crazy question. Don't want to get into anything that is proprietary information for you guys. So let's go with percentages. How much, if you were guessing, I'm not going to hold you to any of these numbers, how much has your operational expense and equipment expense impacted what you're doing, or what, comparatively with before, for running the fleets?
So just ballpark numbers, I can give you some because I do manage a garage here.
Okay.
Overall, whether you're talking about parts or the labor to, when we do have to send something out to get repaired, we're probably looking easily at 30% up from where it's been the last couple of years. I think that's a very safe guesstimate,
Mhm.
might even be a little bit low. So,
30% just operational on top of the
Mhm.
equipment increases.
on top of even that equipment being down too. So,
Mhm.
we have to bring some, whether we bring a tech on site or if we have to send somebody with that equipment, we're making appointments now at, let's say, a reefer repair place where before we could just get that trailer in and out. Now the availability of getting that fixed quickly turns into, we can get to it next Thursday. So not only the costs have gone up, but that downtime on that asset is quite considerable.
Which just exacerbates the cost anyway.
Correct.
Mhm. Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
And then after you wait till next Thursday, you find out it needs something that nobody has.
Yeah, the biggest thing we like to do is, can you at least look at it and see what parts you may need and try to get them in? So when it's
Mhm.
time to be serviced, you don't go through that and say, okay, I have to get two or three other things, and now you're down even longer.
Yeah, get
So,
proactive.
yep,
Mhm.
You
yep,
have
Mhm.
to. Well,
yep.
gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for the time and listening and sharing. For all of our listeners out there, I hope that if they have anything they'd like to share or add or contribute, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe. We take all opinions and thoughts on Stay in Your Lane, and we appreciate your time, Brian. Appreciate your time, Dennis. Thank you a great
Yeah.
deal for
Thank,
participating.
thank you.
Look
Thank you.
forward to
Appreciate
having
it.
you on again in the future, see how things are going.